Hi guys, welcome to Game Talk. We have Sam from the UK. He watched also the game. RKC against Ajax, 0-5, very comfortable, coming back from the international break. This is what we needed, basically, coming from the go-ahead game and the Heracles game, where we drew. Was it as easy as the score reflects, Sam, in your view?
I think so. I think they could have got a goal or two themselves. Number 7, Odegaard, I believe he looked really threatening for them. But I think all in all, it was a comfortable game. Ajax didn't really look in danger at all. And does 5-0 reflect the way the game went? I think it does. Really, I think we had sort of 7 or 8 shots on target, but I think today was a good game to see us back at our clinical best. And yeah, to be honest, I think it does really sum up how the sort of pattern of the game went.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I have to be honest with you. I just had a talk with Papimento, and he was very critical about the performance. And I was a little bit thrown off by it as well.
Okay.
I thought, okay, you win 5-0, you cannot ask for more, basically. It's a good reflection of the quality and etc. But he was a bit critical about basically 2 things. The amount of chances that we need to score. He thought, even though he scored 2 goals, he missed a lot of chances. And he also was a little bit, he wasn't happy with the substitutions of Ten Hag whatsoever, especially Labiat coming in and leaving players like Taylor, Wrench, Tagliafico on the bench. How do you feel about these arguments?
I think Papi makes a good point, to be honest. I think we all know as Ajax fans that players like Labiat are players that we all expect to leave either in January or next summer. Per Schurz also came on, and I think he's a difficult one because in one way we didn't need a centre-half to come on the pitch. At that moment in time, 5-0 up, and they weren't really creating many chances. But I think there's definitely a point, why are we stopping the development of some of our younger players like Taylor, as Papi seems to say? Why are we stopping that when this is a perfect game to introduce a player like that and give him some confidence in the first team? So I think all in all, I do agree with what he said there. And I think there's a little bit of a concern with the rotation side of things. Seeing players like Tagliafico, it doesn't make sense why he doesn't come on, maybe rest Alvarez or Martinez, some of these players, and move Blind into either a position there or even take Blind off. It doesn't make sense why Eric is not, why he's not using some of these players, and he's playing players like Labiat, as we say, probably going to be off in the summer anyway.
Yeah, well, look, you don't know how a season progresses, and maybe the coach was thinking, I haven't played him whatsoever this season so far, and he just wants him to get a little bit of rhythm going on. He can think like that as well, even though I do understand your perspective and Papimento's perspectives as well. Look, let's go on a positive note. 5-0. Any particular players that you think, okay, I have to mention this player or that player?
Well, Tadic is, I think we've always got to start with him. I've given him a man of the match for the game, really. And I think he opened it up. I think his creativity, well, he just brings that different edge that Ajax often miss. And as we've missed in recent weeks, maybe in recent weeks he's off his pace. But I think today he was just on it, really. I think him and Blind were really exciting down the left-hand side. And a lot of our early sort of creative starts were sort of because of those two. I think Berghuis definitely helped today, having him into the team. I think he gave us something slightly different, trying to get different players involved, and obviously he got his 2 goals as well, and I think he got an assist as well. I think those 3 with Blind, Tadic and Berghuis are definitely ones that we can be happy with today.
Do you feel Anthony was a little bit unlucky? Because he had a good game.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have any goals or assists behind his name. So
no, he had his goal disallowed, didn't he? And to be honest, I was quite shocked that was disallowed, but obviously he was offside.
Yeah.
Anthony is a strange one because, you watch him and you think his skills are amazing. What he does with the ball at his feet is sensational, and we haven't always had a player like that. But there are games where I think today's a prime example where he did so much on the ball without really influencing the game. Obviously, as we talk about, his goal disallowed, he was unlucky there. But besides that, I don't think he did too much. And I think the right-hand side with him and Mazraoui, I think they started the game well, but I think as it went on, they started to fizzle out a bit.
Yeah.
And they struggled to sort of keep up with the momentum of the game. And I think that's why Blind and Tadic were much more efficient and sort of stronger in today's game.
Absolutely. Look, we tend to talk and praise always the attackers, or the midfielders when we score so many goals. But it's another clean sheet, and we praised. I mean, you can talk about Pasveer, but maybe we should mention also the center backs and maybe also Alvarez. I mean, I thought Alvarez today. Maybe you don't agree with me, or maybe you do, but I thought Alvarez today, even though he on the ball he didn't do much, he did a lot of the dirty work again. I mean, he really gives cover to Blind when he goes up front, or Gravenberg when he goes up front, or Mazraoui. I mean, we don't see it that often. It's not that beautiful to watch compared to other things, but it's another clean sheet. And I think, like that pivot, the two center backs and Alvarez, but also Pasveer, although RKC did have chance to score, one or two maybe, we're looking very solid at the back, Which
yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue. We've conceded 2 goals in the league all season, which is in 13 games is a crazy stat line, and to score 42 as well, it's really exciting. I think if we're comparing it to the 2018-19 season, for me, I always thought our attack was sensational. I always felt like every time we're going forward that we're going to score. But then the problem with that is that every time we were defending, I thought that we were going to make a mistake or that we were going to concede goals. Whereas this season, we're not really seeing that. And it's great to have someone like Alvarez. I think that's really what we missed in that season, where I think Frenkie de Jong did obviously did a fantastic job that season, but he doesn't play the exact same way as Alvarez. If I was comparing him to someone, I really look at him and think of a Sergio Busquets player, someone who, he's very good on the ball, but that's not what he's known for. As we talk about, Busquets is very good with the dirty work. And I'd even say Jordan Henderson's kind of in that sort of mix as when Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson are pushing forward. He's someone who will sit back and cover. And the same can be said for Busquets. And the sort of problem with that is we don't talk about him too much because we don't always focus on what he's doing. We focus on what everyone else is doing. But last season with Henderson, he was out injured for a while, and you saw the problems Liverpool had when he was out. And I think if you ask me if there was one player I would not want to lose through injury, it'd probably be Alvarez. That's how crucial he is to the way that we play at the moment.
Yeah. No, I totally understand what you're saying. Look, 5-0, we're coming back from international break. We had to win this game. We won comfortably. What's the takeaway for you from this match, and what do you look forward to going into the next weeks?
I mean, the thing, like I said, I wanted to see rotation, but we'll ignore the rotation side of it today because it was a must-win game. We needed to have our strongest players playing, and it was a defiant win. We were dominant, really in control for the majority of the game, and I think it's a really good confidence booster going into the Champions League. Obviously, it's not a must-win game, fortunately. It makes a change at this stage for it to not be. But no, it's good that we have this kind of performance against a team where in recent weeks we've struggled. So it shows that we can play in a right way. We can press oppositions hard. We can force them into mistakes. We can score early on and really put pressure on the oppositions. And hopefully we can take confidence in the way that we played today and then use that against some of the smaller teams when we play them going forward this season.